Probably cheaper.
Now,
It
which
probably
pant
would
leg are you
be.
going to shove your penis down? That's the
Oh,
question.
I'll alternate, obviously. Mondays, Wednesday, Friday, Thursday. Yes.
So,
So
like,
you
but
go
which
from
pant leg are
left to
you?
right.
So it's going to be like it go from left to right. Uh, so your penis has gotten that big since. That's cool.
Oh yeah, it's massive.
What did you shave and you just found there was more there, or did you take some kind
Yeah, it
of
was
a
hiding this whole
steroid?
time. I'm like, shit, there's more. Damn.
It's like I didn't realize that a penis can actually double in size like that. That's amazing.
Yeah, I
And
think
that's
I'm just
without
gonna roll it
saline
up
solution, right?
like a fruit by the foot. Is what I'm gonna do.
Fruit by the foot.
That used to be my stage name back in the day. Fruit by the foot.
Hey, I think Extreme Tuber goes by that name now, right?
No.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Because I thought your stage name was something like that. Where you were like doing the helicopter. You had a glow stick on the end of it so people could see it.
That reminds me of
Remember,
helicopter
you were the
tits.
stand-in for meatspin.com.
That's what I thought.
Thesespin.com actually appears to have a rather acceptable penis size, so I wouldn't have a problem with that.
Oh, well, we weren't making a small penis joke, but all right.
Yeah, I was trying
I
to
know
give
you
you.
weren't.
I was trying to give you credit, sir, but you know what? Fuck you.
So is anyone upset that the CEO of Popeyes is white, but then the TV CEO is that black Louisianan lady thing?
No, I don't. I don't really have an issue with people's races like that.
No, I don't have an issue with it either. It's
Never
just
say you did.
It was supposed to be funny. I get it.
Ah, ha, ha, ha.
Ah.
fuck you guys.
Ah, the old bacon switch.
Anyways, so Zelda.
Fuck Zelda.
Zelda.
I wasn't gonna buy it for my Wii U anyway, so I'm okay.
What's the Zelda? What?
There's a rumor
canceled
that it's
for
gonna be
the-
canceled on the Wii U and only for the Switch.
Well, no one bought a Wii U, so it's fine.
That
knows
kind of
Zelda?
hurts a little bit. That hurts a little bit.
Brimstone owns one.
I own one, Dick. I actually bought that shit just so I could play
I own
Zelda
one dick
on it.
too, but you gotta move on. Eventually, you get to the point where you're just gonna have to own up to the fact that you bought a Wii U, and you're gonna have to live with that decision. This is what you get. This is what you get.
It's kind of ironic because the emulation for the Wii U is being perfected almost as the Wii U is at the end of its life cycle. Anyway,
Yeah. I mean,
It's not really a crap rumor though. It's on several websites.
I hope it's just a crap rumor because that's one of the reasons why I bought the damn thing. When they announced that Zelda on this Wii U, it was one of the reasons why I wanted a Wii U. I was like, that game looks amazing.
Oh, you guys got a Zelda. It's that Dynasty Warriors one.
Aha, 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 aha. Oh, you see that, Louis? They're being assholes. Yeah, that's right. I got my
probably,
snake on me.
Probably more fun than an actual Zelda game.
It
Right.
does look fun. I will give it that. The hack and slash thing, yeah.
Zelda games just don't look fun to me. The last one I played wasn't fun, and I just don't care about Zelda. The handhelds were good. I've enjoyed the handhelds.
Oh yeah, how was the 3DS Zelda games? Were they pretty good?
Link Between Worlds was okay, but I'd played A
Yeah.
Link to the Past, so I've already played it. Let me see, Phantom Hourglass I really liked, and of course A Link to the Past is a classic forever and ever.
I think Link to the Past and Ocarina of Time will never die.
nope. They will get remade an infinity bajillion times though, because as you know, this is Nintendo.
True, but they're both great games. And A Link Between Worlds on the 3DS, that was the only game I ever played on the 3DS before mine broke, and it was great. I mean, I didn't have not one bitch about it.
Hey, Bubba. Man, I don't know. I so they have the dual slots on the NX, right? I'm thinking about this seriously. Like, if they do bring that out as a hidden thing, we're like, oh yeah, by the way, you can play 3DS games on it. I think that would be when the NX would be worth buying. Honestly, I mean, the reason why I got a Wii U was because it had backwards compatibility with the Wii, so I got to experience almost 2 generations of games for my purchase. Just like with my Xbox One, I'm able to experience 2 different generations of games on one purchase, which is actually very beneficial. So I hope they continue that pattern with the NX. I hope they're like, oh well, you can't do the Wii, let's do a handheld, because that would make sense to me. I'd be like, they can make more money. They'd probably sell that thing. I think they would sell that thing like it's printing money.
They need to give people a reason to buy the Switch, really.
Exactly.
Unless you've already said you're going to buy it day one no matter what.
Yeah.
I think that because of the fact that there are so many Nintendo Wii U games that are also on the 3DS, that seems like something that they would be able to do to capitalize on the fact that they have both systems competing with each other, in essence.
Yeah. Let's say.
Yeah, but, I mean, whether you're a huge Zelda fan or not, though, I mean, if you bought a Wii U and you invested time and money into this thing and it's actually canceled, that would piss me off. I mean, whether or not I was looking forward to Zelda or not, I mean...
Right. Well, there's a lot of people like me who bought a Wii U because of Zelda. I mean, at least I will say this. At least I got a few of the games that I wanted for this console, but I didn't get them all. So, it's all right. I'll just suck it up. I'll accept it if the 3DS is fucking backwards compatible with the NX. If it's not, I don't want anything to do with it.
It's not going to be backwards compatible.
Well, then I don't want anything to do with it.
Maybe they'll sell you an adapter.
The rumor is that they're just going to make the virtual store capable of like being used on the Switch, which means that if you whatever games you have on, like, I guess it's not digital, maybe you would have to rebuy again for the for the Switch, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know about all this. I don't know. Spare, what do you think about the NX, man? I don't know. What else is there to talk about besides the NX that we've covered since last one? Anything newsworthy to talk about? I know Shaner's wife here wants to talk about pussy on the podcast.
Who specifically? Because that could be hit or miss.
Yeah, pretty much. That's what I was thinking. I'm like, if we talk about vag on a podcast, we better make sure it's something that's feasible and it's hot. So, well, Shaner, does she have anybody in particular or no?
No, she didn't give any names. She just was spitballing and said, "Why don't you guys talk about pussy on the podcast?" Really?
All right.
Yeah.
So, how about this? Let's do.
Okay, I got it. What about Jay Sentries?
Oh! Oh! Damn! Getting roasted, Jay. You're not even here, bro.
Shots fired.
That is shots fired. Hey, speaking of getting roasted and getting fucked 3 ways from Sunday, Rambo, how's that Pornhub Act contract coming up?
It's going good. I mean, I think I'm going to come out ahead.
Going in with zero expectations, walking out like a boss.
Yep.
Amazing, sir. Amazing.
So, next to happen is if you guys go sub to Metrox and he hits 200 subs, he'll do ass to mouth on camera.
On camera. I can
His
verify
own
this. Huh?
His own ass to mouth?
Yeah, because when we say ass to mouth, that actually could mean multiple things.
Well, you won't get it anywhere else except for Metrox's channel, so that's the important part.
Right. Man, oh man. So, I already bragged about this to like almost everybody except for Rags because he just barely came in as I saw him. I ordered the Bear Dynamic DT990 Pros tonight. Hopefully, I won't have another Zotac fiasco where it's canceled on like the second or third day of processing. No, 2-day delivery. I should have them soon. I'm going to give you guys what I think about them. I was looking in the Audio Technicas that Rags has. God, I can't even talk tonight.
For headsets or microphones?
For headsets. As headsets, yeah. I was looking for what you because I think you said you had like the HD 300s or something like that, right?
ATH AG1s.
Or AG1s, yeah. I was looking at the RX-7s that they have, and they're like a step up from yours, and they were like 180 something tonight, and they only had 5 available. But by the time I was able to purchase them, they had 1 left, and I saw something else come across, and those were the Beyerdynamic DT990s. They come with an amplifier. This goes up to 250 ohms impedance, and they sound like they're open backs too. Like I think you said yours is open backs, didn't you?
Mine's closed.
Oh,
I
they're
don't like
closed?
it that way.
Oh, you like it closed?
Mm-hmm. I bought some open ones not too long ago, and just don't like them. Do not like them at all. Inferior to this set in every way.
So okay? So I've only ever dealt with closed back rags. What's the major difference between the closed back and the open?
It's as if the best way to describe it is the sound is they're what's the way to describe it? In a closed back headset, the noise is confined to the ear and around the cups around the ears.
Yeah.
And they cancel out noise from the outside world. However, with a open back, it's like having headphones on or like earbuds on in a way where it doesn't close the sound off to your ear. It's like it's playing towards your ear, and there's no back to kind of hold the sound in. So it's like more ambient sort of sound. It's more open. But it's hard to describe, but I prefer closed backs.
Right.
Also, with open-backed headphones, everyone else can hear what you're listening to.
So it's more like a strainer versus like
a bowl.
A bowl.
Kind of, except instead of a strainer, like the holes are really, really big and everywhere. So basically, it's like a ring.
Okay.
So after hearing the descriptions of both that I found, I went with the closed backs, and I'm very happy. And I got really nice open back ones, and they just don't compare. I think it just sounds way better. These closed ones do.
Right.
If I ever buy another headset, if I can get this headset without the microphone, which I need to look for, then I'll get it, because it's really excellent sound and I love it, and it's easy to tell the direction things are coming from, and there's no. I just like it. I just think it sounds better.
Yeah. No. It's all right. That's why I was asking. This will be my first open back. I've never had open back before, so yeah. And I saw that for the price for these things, it was pretty much one of those like, it's worth buying. It's worth trying it out.
Yeah, you can always return it or sell it to someone.
Yeah, for $124, I think it's a pretty good buy. Like I said, I was looking at the step up from yours, and that looked really promising. So I was really kind of battling it out. And then the ultimate decision came from these come with an amp for the same price. So it comes with an amp, and every review that I've seen on it so far, and every one of the reviews on Amazon, we're saying that the open back actually helps deal with the actual impedance that these headphones output. So I'll see what happens, because like I said, I've always dealt with closed backs. Like I'm sure, like the most of you have. I've always dealt with closed back earphones. I've never dealt with anything else. So
after having high quality versions of both, I definitely prefer closed backs.
Yeah. I've only ever dealt with Logitech gaming headphones, Razer gaming headphones,
and they've both been from the same company, so they probably make them in a similar fashion, with that, of course, being the big difference.
Yeah, definitely. Let's see. Blah, my grammar. Rags, can you talk about a little bit about Space Hulk? Oh yeah, Space Hulk. You said something about it being a disappointment. What happened?
Major disappointment. Space Hulk definitely is a major disappointment. If you really, it's fanboy lore service, really. If you like the Warhammer 40K universe, if you like the stories, if you like the lore, if you want to be immersed in a setting that is true to the Warhammer lore, then you will like this game a lot more, because it has that. What it does really, really well is, it's a short list. The environments are really well done. The scale of the buildings. The ships are really well done. The interiors are fantastic. Everything is designed like it's pulled straight out of a Warhammer novel. I mean, everything's got the inscriptions on it, bless machines before use, all that, appease the machine spirit, everything like that. It really, really tugs you into the world. One thing that they do well is also is the weapons sound and feel like they've got a lot of oomph to them.
Yeah.
The way you move makes you feel strong and powerful. Like you feel weighty, you feel potent, heavy, like you're a walking minigun toting refrigerator in space. The enemies, though, are the enemies are all right. It's not as good as Left 4 Dead, for instance, or Killing Floor 2. The AI is passable. Once you get past the lore of it and the feel that the guns have, there's really nothing great about the game at all. There were so many missed opportunities to make this game excellent and fantastic, but a lot of design decisions held it back. Apparently, people have been having a lot of performance problems. I haven't really had them. It doesn't run great, but I don't know if I'm probably just brute forcing my way through any performance issues, and a lot of people obviously can't do that, so I don't know. I haven't had any real bad bugs at all. Bugs have been mostly graphical clipping here and there. It's nothing unusual, nothing bad.
Yeah.
But really, if you're looking for the game is better in single player. It's definitely a single player focused game because the multiplayer, as far as I know, is just the single player maps, except with friends, except you don't any longer have the time to explore as you wish and plod through the levels as calmly as you want to explore everything, because you're beholden to obviously to other people and their enjoyment of the game and how they want to progress.
Yeah.
So you might as well just play the game single player. The story's decent, but it kind of goes back to the lore being fan service and all. If you don't understand the lore of Warhammer 40K, you're going to be very lost. So you won't understand the importance of, how can we have to go get this gene seed? Or, who are the Dark Angels? What's a Space Hulk? What's this? What's that? You don't really get the importance of a lot of stuff because you don't understand the lore. And it's not really explained. It's just sort of this one-off stuff that they explain. And it only matters if you already kind of know what these things are. Even if you have a fairly journeyman understanding of the universe, you kind of understand, but they talk about a lot of stuff that not even I know about, and it doesn't ever explain it. They don't tell you, why are we here? What are these things that we're fighting? Why do we care? What's our ultimate mission goal? It just isn't really explained. And there's also no cutscenes. Apart from the opening cutscene, and I put cutscene in huge quotation marks, where you kind of enter the Space Hulk for the first time, there's really no cutscenes at all. All of the dialogue and story is told either through exposition before a mission begins, or in the form of, someone's head pops up on your heads-up display, and they explain to you something, and you go out and do it. But it doesn't really feel like there's not a lot of game to it. I think it's only like $30 though. So if you really like the universe of Warhammer 40K, I would say get it. But if you're not really interested in the universe or you don't know much about it, then I don't think there's going to be a lot here that other games don't do and do better. There's no reason to buy this game over Left 4 Dead or Killing Floor 2 or Vermintide.
Yeah, I got it last night, actually. Shanner here hooked it up, and I gotta say, as far as what it is, I could tell right off the bat, it's definitely based on people who already know about the game. It's definitely a thing, and that can be a huge problem to a casual market. So it's obvious that they weren't catering this to the casual market. But I will say this, the game looks fucking beautiful.
This dude just got a quintuple kill in the kill feed with C4.
Nice.
Dynamite, but I think one example that I found that was really obvious was you would walk through these machines and stuff, and again, the levels are designed excellently, very, very immersive. But you'll walk through machines, and there will be warning signs on the machines that say, please bless before each use. And that doesn't make any sense, and it's almost like a joke if you don't understand the world of Warhammer 40,000, where there's something called there are machine spirits, and machines only work in the universe because there are machine spirits that you have to pray to so that machines work. And if you don't pray and appease the machine spirits, then shit doesn't work. So I mean, little things like that are completely lost on somebody who doesn't know that about the lore.
Yeah.
But a lot of the details in these levels is really great. Like you'll see a lot of doorways and ladders and openings that a normal sized human could use that you obviously can't because you're a space marine. Everything from the details on the weapons, the inscriptions everywhere is really, really fantastic. It's very immersive. So if you're playing it alone and you're just kind of plodding along, you'll really like it. But if you don't know really what to like and appreciate, then it's kind of lost on you. There's no semblance, and everything else is just done either poorly or at best is mediocre. Class selection, like in the campaign, you have 2 buddies that you're with, and one of them's the healer. But if you give him anything besides his starting weapon, then his secondary cannot be the healing implement, which you need to beat the game. You have to be able to heal yourself. So he has to stay with the exact same thing the entire game. The exact same
That's kind
loadout.
of shit that they do that. Like,
yeah, that's absolutely shit. And it's weird because you can have secondaries that are one-handed. You can have like the Redemption and the Bolter, and you can have the Hellfire, and you can have one-handed stuff, like smaller one-handed stuff.
Yeah.
And you can, but if you didn't, now someone gifted it to me as a pre-order. So I got the Lost Mace of Cor Swain. And if you didn't pre-order the game, you're pretty much stuck with only one melee weapon for basically the whole game, unless you want to have a dedicated melee sword and shield. And that's not fun at all, by the way. Everything is lost. It's a lost opportunity in almost every aspect. The classes, the way you can customize your squad, even the little leveling up system. Every once in a while, you'll beat like a chapter, and you could put points into these 3 tiers, but it's only a straight line progression, and it's nothing major. It's not particularly a difficult game, but the strategy really just comes down to make sure you're looking in directions and you listen to see where the enemies are coming from. Mm-hmm. The interface is awful, the way that you control the map and everything. It's just, in every other regard other than the lore and kind of the feedback and sound and feel of the weapons, it's really, really lackluster. And I'm hoping that they will do shit to this game progressing forward, because it will get a console release eventually next year. I hope that they really do something to this game, because it has like this core foundation of a really cool game. Like the enemy variety is okay. The weapons are interesting. They feel very different from one another. You'll have 2 machine guns and they feel totally different from one another. You'll have all sorts of shotguns and guns that shoot explosive, flamey badness, and you'll have plasma cannons and other plasma cannons, and the weapons are really cool and I like those, but it's like the game that you're playing isn't really all that fun. I have more fun looking at this game than doing in this game, and there should be more cutscenes that tell exposition, and I'm not talking about like these grandiose cutscenes and everything, but things that they need to explain things more in the story.
Yeah.
They need to explain, like, who are the Dark Angels and why should I give a damn? It's like, if you know the lore, obviously they're important. But if you don't, then you're like, okay, I guess they're like people. Are they people?
Right.
It's like, how come this whole ship
is
is
there better, a little bit better than
yeah, it's like, are we going from ship to ship? Or like, are we going from ship to ship in this one tangled mess of they need to explain things better.
Right, because when you first jump in, I know what a librarian is. I know what, a lot of these things are. And I was immediately thinking, why would they have you labeled as the librarian right off the bat? Like a lot of people are looking into Space Hulk, and a lot of new people would be thrown off by some of the basics. Even they should have storyboarded it a little bit better. But
yeah, it's
I wish they would have been aiming at more of the casual market as well as the senior vets.
And it's not like they have to. There's nothing in the game to dumb down. That's the thing.
Really,
there's nothing to dumb down. They have to explain things more and give you more to do. They need to make it more complex. And there's a lot of little nitpicky things.
Yeah, put more lure into the game. Would have been good.
Well, hell, they need to explain what we've got. They make so many references. Like all the time you see the hooded, the Adeptus Mechanicus guys everywhere, and of course that's gibberish if you don't understand. They have the little robot people in robes. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You're like, who are they? It's not explained. How come there's inscriptions on everything? He just what is all this stuff? And even the enemies themselves, like I said, the variety is okay, but a lot of the times you can't tell who's who because most of the gene stealers look exactly like one another, with just little minor differences. And in the fray of battle, you can't tell the difference. I mean, in Killing Floor 2, you can obviously tell these are all different. In Left 4 Dead, you can obviously tell, okay, these are all, they have different types of enemies. They sound different. Like, a hunter's coming because they have that distinctive sound they make. But in this game, when they all come at you in a horde, you're just kind of mowing them down in front of you, and you don't get to appreciate that there are different kinds that you're shooting.
Yeah.
And a lot of the times, though, like there's some that spit acid at you, right? But they'll appear around a corner and instantly spit acid. They don't rear back and charge it up and spit, or they don't give a tell like they're going to spit this acid at you. They just poof acid. So you have no real chance to evade or dodge that. There's no way to self-heal. Again, all of your healing is done through one character, and the one character has to have the same loadout for the entire game, or else he can't heal with his secondary arm, with his left arm. And you obviously can't give that up because it's the only way to heal.
Yeah.
The way that the Psi Gate works, if you gather relics, and I had to discover this because they don't tell you, but you discover these collectible relics. And what they do is they increase your willpower. And once your willpower bar gets all the way up, you get to use the Psi Gate one more time.
Yeah.
And it basically transports you to the safe hub where you can change weapons and all that stuff. And you can do this literally at any time. So if a horde is surrounding you and they're everywhere, you just warp right out. And it's to the point where I've warped out of a horde attacking me. I equip to my machine gun or my minigun, and then I spool up the machine gun and start firing as I walk into the gate to get back into the level, and you come back firing the machine gun, which is like nifty and all, but it's really easy to take advantage of that because it's like this easy way out. But being able to manage yourself and your squad is really non-existent pretty much, and you can't change your class or anything. And it's just there's so many missed opportunities to have this be this really cool, awesome game. And it's there. The foundation is there, but they really need to work on it. They got to bring a lot into this game to get it up to a level where I'd recommend to everybody, not just people who are really big fans of the lore.
Yeah. I was just telling Shane. Me and Shane were talking about this the other night. The game. I mean, a lot of people don't understand this, but World of Warcraft and Warcraft lore is actually based off of Warhammer. They're both great in their own respects, but the only problem about Warhammer is it's so massive. The Warhammer universe.
The lore is
huge.
It's huge. It's massive.
It's unmeasurable, damn near. It's
the scale of everything and the amount of stuff and information. It's fascinating. It really is very interesting the way the world works.
They've got different gods for everything that you do. You have different deities that are responsible for armies that the gods have created, and I mean it's just crazy shit. I mean, there's different classes of each soldier. There's different levels and archetypes, and I mean, you have factions upon factions. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And if you're a diehard fan, it would take you a lifetime to get bored of it. I mean,
and it's the basics of it are really simple to get across. They could make a Warhammer game as simple or as like right now the best Warhammer game I've played. Because I don't really care for RTS. It's not my cup of tea. But Space Marine is a fantastic game. It's a third-person shooter set in the universe, and it was really my first game for Warhammer. And it does a fantastic job of making a great Warhammer game that explains enough of the lore to keep you going in the story, and you get a really good vibe of how the universe works from this game. And I basically walked into it cold, and I understood everything I needed to understand, because they give you enough explanation of stuff. But in this game, no explanation. The game was pretty much built like it's for Warhammer fans, and they kind of assume you know everything.
Do you want it?
Yeah, Space Marine was amazing.
Yeah, Space Marine's a really good game. You should buy Space Marine. Space Marine was very good.
Nice.
So would you say it's like basically stepping into half of a conversation not half, a conversation that's already like more than 80% over, and you have to figure out what was being said
during the other 80% of the conversation.
Not really. You kind of pick up enough important stuff. The problem is that they spent so much time really making the lore almost central to the story that, I mean, it's like waste on people who just don't get it, I guess. Because, I mean, the way that people talk to one another, the way that the things that everything's called, the lore of the actual places that you're in, it's all just kind of it's lost to you. You don't need to know it to progress through the story, because the story is all very, very simple. It's fine. It's functional. It's not necessarily the story that keeps you going through the game. It's, you know, what references will they make or what explanations will be given.
Yeah.
And again, that stuff's lost if you don't really have a real deep understanding of things, and that's just really a shame.
And it's really a beautiful game. I mean,
it really does look great. It looks fantastic.
It looks like a fantastic game. Yeah, I was playing a little bit last night. I'm so far I'm pleased with it because I do know a lot about the lure itself. So when I saw who we were starting off with and whatnot, I was like, oh shit, oh damn, Ex Machina. But yeah, it's I got pretty excited.
Yeah.
Again, Shaner, thank you for hooking it up with that, sir. You're always awesome.
No problem, man.
The thing is, I'm on chapter 7. I think there's 9 total. I think I just got to chapter 7, and I'm just kind of playing the game to see the just see stuff. Really.
How many chapters are there?
I think there are 9.
Nice.
Yeah, but again, there's no. If you're looking for a co-op game, this isn't it. Get Killing Floor 2, get Vermintide, Left 4 Dead if you haven't bought it for some reason. If you don't have that game yet, there are just better co-op game. Battlefield, just get Battlefield. It's a better co-op game than this is.
There you go. There you go.
I mean, when it's good though. When you're playing the game and you're alone at night and you're trudging around these dark hallways on these abandoned space, this big ass abandoned space station, and it's just you and you're fighting off. I mean, it could be fun. It really can. It really can be fun, but it leaves you wanting a whole lot more because the game really is just the same thing over and over. And I was really getting worried that if they didn't swamp up the settings, that I don't think I'd even finish the game. Luckily, though, you do get all sorts of crazy, cool-looking environments.
That is pretty cool. Yeah, the first one you get into is like a broken down ship. The details in it are pretty freaking spot on. I mean, like I'm telling you guys right now, the game does look beautiful. I mean, you first log in and you see all the detail done and the artistry that's done and put into the game. It's like, wow, these people really wanted to sell this. Like, you could tell they tried.
I mean, it's like the people who made the game know a lot about Warhammer and not about making video games.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
enough.
really probably
fair
how
enough.
I would describe it. It's like, we don't really know how to make a game, but boy, we know everything there is to know about Warhammer. So they put all the things that they'd love to see in a Warhammer game, and then they forgot they were supposed to make a video game for everyone else.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I could
guess
see
that.
that.
Makes sense,
That
yeah.
makes sense. Yeah, I could see that. Yeah.
It's like, yeah, this is so cool. We're Space Marines and shit. And he's like, yeah, but I'm a Space Marine in a lot of things, to be quite frank. Give me a reason that this one stands out. Like, well, it's Warhammer. It's like, yeah, but that may be a reason enough for you, but for me, it's not good enough to be its own reason.
Yeah. That is pretty cool, though.
So hopefully by the time it comes out later, because it's only like half positive on Steam, and I don't know if I'd recommend it or not.
For a veteran, probably. Because most veterans will know all the basics already. They'll know all the.
Yeah, it's really cool to
covering.
see this world that you've read about and stuff and played on tabletop. It's really cool to see that imagined in a video game when it's all around you and it's really immersive. Because the sounds are so great, the chatter is really good. There should be more of it though. But man, everything else is just. I mean, you can't get away with having a game that dull these days.
True, that's true. Very, very true.
The competition's just too good.
Well, out of all the games that are going to be released, do you have anything besides those 2 horror games that we were talking about a while back? Are you looking forward to anything else? Anything?
Looking forward, to be honest, I don't really look forward much to games. I just kind of play when something comes out, it comes out, and I play whatever I've got in the meantime. I just don't really
Because
I just don't really think
I know we
about-
haven't really heard any much about those two horror games that you had introduced to us a while back.
Yeah, Scorn and
I can't remember it either.
I can't remember it either. I mean, I remember all the gameplay and everything. I just can't remember the name.
I
They're
haven't
both
heard.
one.
I haven't heard much about those games lately. Honestly, like it was like all that buzz was around at that time, and then it kind of got silent. So I hope everything's going well with those guys because those look promising. So
They do. What I would really like to see though is just, I mean, the stuff that they could do to the game. I mean, it doesn't. These are again, a lot of these are design decisions or omissions or changes that can be patched in. Like, give us the ability to equip more than one gun to Nahum. Give me more than, one sidearm to give to Barakil. Explain more why we're here, why I should care what a gene seed is, why we're doing all this stuff. Like you have, because you're a psyker, you play as a psyker who's like, which in the Warhammer universe is someone who's psychic, who can use psychic powers, and you get like these premonitions, and they don't explain what they are. You're just like, ooh, spooky place. Now you got a premonition. It's like, well, why? What is it? And this can all be done pretty passively, or do what Mass Effect did, or one of these other universes did, and say, here's a codex for you to read more about it if you want more info. Instead of you having to go to the Warhammer wiki and see, okay, what are the Blood Angels? Why should I give a shit? What's a gene seed? Why should I give a shit? It's another question. Why should I give a shit?
Yeah, pretty much.
Because like, why are we here? You walk into the space station, like, why are we here? I don't even know. Like, I don't even know why we went on board in the first place. So I think we were looking for a Dark Angel ship was the original thing, and then it changed, but it's still sort of why we're here.
You were looking for
really.
Dark Angels, but other life forms came about. Like they did
Yeah,
a full scan of the ship, and the only reason I remember is because I just did it last night. And you come across a ship, and like the ship itself has been completely fucking eradicated. Like almost everything's been destroyed in it. So
yeah, and again, if you don't know what a Space Hulk is, too, I mean. Like, it's this really cool science fiction sort of thing, these Space Hulks, but again, if you don't know what they are, it's not even doing, you don't even, that's the thing, it's in the name. There are 3 words in the name, Space Hulk, Deathwing. You know what none of those are.
Exactly.
That's why when you say the word Space Hulk, Deathwing, they're like, is this like the Marvel Hulk? Or anything like that?
I've heard a few people ask that. I'm like,
well,
no,
yeah,
not
it's like
quite.
Space Hulk is like, that sounds weird. That sounds like you're jumping the shark here. But I mean, you don't even know what a Space Hulk is, and you're playing a game called Space Hulk. It's like, what is this? It's like, well, it's actually really, really fascinating, but we're not going to tell you about it. Who's the Deathwing? It's like, it's a sort of, I think, is that us? Are the Deathwing? Is that the enemy? Are they the Deathwings? Or is that what they're called? Because I don't even know if they say the word Deathwing in the freaking game. You just kind of have to figure it out. I mean, luckily, it's not very important for you to progress through the story. It's like, just shoot the aliens and go to the places that they tell you to go.
Well, just being
like
just being a space marine, for anybody that that knows about the story, you already know where it's gonna go. You already know, like, because if you're a big space marine guy like I am, space marines out of the factions. Not to ruin anything for people that are interested in buying this game, you pretty much know where it's gonna go. Space marines are very much into cannibalizing themselves in order to serve their emperor. So, I mean, it's one of the reasons why they've. Yeah, I don't want to ruin anything because.
Just go to the wiki and click links and read things and stuff.
Play Space Marine. Like, it is
Space Marine is
enough
good.
now.
Yeah,
Space Marine's good because you can still play and understand everything, but it's orcs bad, people good, sort of. And you go through the game, you shoot stuff, and a lot of the lore is very passive. They explain it to you along the way. It's like green people bad, orcs good. That guy looks evil, so he's probably evil. Because you can walk into Space Marine and not know anything about Warhammer and come out with a general understanding of how the universe works.
Right.
This game, I mean, you don't need to know, but it builds itself so much up on the lore, and it being, for Warhammer fans, that you'd think it would do a better job. Kind of,
Well, it's, to be fair, it's coming off, isn't it coming off of the Chaos Marine arc? It's off of
I don't
Chaos.
even know.
I
don't know. I mean,
the librarian is based off the Chaos lore. So there's two Marines. There's Space Marine, and then there's a Chaos Marine. The Chaos Marine are pretty much what you see. Those are like the Necro Servants, and then you see the the ones with the squeaky ass voices going Master, like that's all Chaos. It's good stuff. It really is. If you like chaos, you're a chaos guy. This game's for you. You're a Space Marine guy. It jumps back and forth with the Space Marines versus the Chaos Marine fights, and that's what this game is
But
based off of.
the game bills itself as like this co-op horde class-based shooter, and it's really not.
Oh yeah.
It really isn't. I mean, you fight against hordes of enemies, sort of, and I mean there are classes, sort of, but I mean for you, I mean I can only have 2 different options for my left hand, and I have a bunch for my right, but then but a lot of them restricts me to. And there's no RPG elements. They're so light that might as well not be there. They make you like, oh, you can give your allies 10% more armor. It's like, okay, so it's so restrictive and simple. They need to open it up. They need to give you better objectives. They need to give you better rewards. Oh, and another thing, as you level up per level, so you level up per stage, I should say. So if you jump into a co-op game, you're level 0, and then as you kill enemies, you get better stuff. And in co-op, you can change all your equipment on the fly. So it's like, oh, I just want this weapon, boink. Oh, I just want this weapon, boink, and now you've got it. There's no real, and of course you find the favorites. Some are just way better than others. There's enough useful options, but for the most part, it's
Nice.
So I'd check back with the game after the first or second or third or 10th patch and see if it's really good.
Yeah,
right
there's some stuff to fix. The AI needs to be fixed and tweaked, but it's pretty good. Like I said, especially if you guys like the Chaos Marine story arcs and stuff, you guys are going to love this game. Extreme Tuber, you got anything you want to talk about, sir?
1080 Ti, right? You were saying something about that.
Yeah. Apparently, all signs are pointing to the 1080 Ti being dropped at CES, both in the sense of being revealed as well as being released, which is going to be
or dropped as in Linus reviews it.
Linus, silly.
Linus, why are you dropping shit?
When is CES?
CES, I
Beginning of
think,
the year,
is
isn't
the.
Yeah, that's what I thought, but don't they change that one?
I don't know I don't know if it's the 8th or it should be the week of the 8th. Like they generally have it that particular time. Like the latest I've seen CSB is the 15th of January.
So I guess for those that have not bought a 10 series card yet that are looking for one, just wait.
Yep, just wait. After Christmas, save up that Christmas cash if you still get that shit, or if you don't get that shit, then save it up anyway because you have a job and all that shit.
Christmas bonus, parents giving you money, whatever, save it.
I mean, there's tons of great games. Someone was asking after the Press Start podcast I did with Kofi. He was asking me about indie games, really good indie games. And first off, just because something's an indie game doesn't mean it's bad, and just because something's AAA doesn't mean it's good.
Absolutely.
Because I get sick when people say, "Oh, there's just a bunch of indie games on PC." Well,
and lately
there are
that's
a
been
bunch of
switched.
indie games.
Lately that's been switched, right? Like a lot has been switched around with those two different dynamics being the general's senses. A lot of people think it's because it's AAA, it's going to be this amazing title, and a lot of people think that's an indie. It's going to be it's budget, you guys. It's budget. It's you get what you pay for.
But even then, I mean, like Enter the Gungeon is a fantastic top-down shooter, and I've got about 20 hours in that, and there's no way I'm getting 20 hours with Space Hulk Deathwing. There's no way I'm getting 20 hours with a lot of AAA games. Like Call of Duty, for instance, is the classic AAA game, and it's kind of been shite for a long time now. So here, I mean, there's games like Soma and all that stuff. So good indie games are cheap. A lot of the times they're fantastic, and a lot of the times they're not terribly long for a low price, which is good because you get to finish them.
I think what they did with Soma is they should have presented this new this Space Hulk. They should have put scriptures of lure throughout the map, allowed you to hack into systems and read things. I haven't gotten to that distance obviously yet, but assuming from what you've played, they didn't really do that. So
well, and with Space Hulk, there are places you can find like little screens that have like ship logs in them. And they're super interesting to read. There just needs to be about 10 times more of those, seriously, because I've only found like 3 in about 5 hours worth of playing. And it's a great way. I mean, you're on a massive spaceship, stuck to other spaceships, and you would think that one way to learn more about the lore is to read, one of the logs from these massive ships,
Mhm.
and they only give you a couple opportunities to do that. And if you miss out, then I mean, it's lame.
You can't go back and check it out, really?
Well, I guess you can, but you're talking about playing a whole level just to find one terminal, if it's even there, to get just a little page or a half a page's worth of, flavory sort of lore stuff.
Yeah.
And there just needs to be a lot more of those things.
Hmm.
Well, hopefully it gets better over time. I mean, I don't see how much patches could actually help that situation, but you never know.
Well, I mean, they can. This is the kind of stuff they can patch in because it's not massive. It's like when you go up to this point, have there be this terminal thing that pops up, and you can use that to learn more about the lore, or put a codex in the game that just explains things to you.
Yeah.
It's a shame because, like I said, the game looks so good. I have a whole bunch of screenshots that are going to be in a video I do on it. And it looks great, but the design is what's really fantastic too.
Yeah.
It just seems wasted on really kind of dull, repetitive gameplay.
Right. Well, when I first logged into it, it looked pretty interesting. So I hope I can finish the game and give a proper review on it.
Yeah, when you start off, it's pretty nifty, but you get a couple hours in, 3 hours in, 4 hours in, you're like, oh, the only thing kind of keeping me going is how cool the levels look. Because it certainly isn't.
New Battlefield 1 patch. I wasn't aware there was a new Battlefield 1 patch that made
pretty big
frames
one.
drop.
Really?
Frames drop. It opened everything up. Like the latest patch where they balanced everything.
Yeah. Max settings is saying he's getting like 10 less frames per second.
My frames are way better.
Max settings. What's your video card? And that's another thing. If the 1080 Ti drops, aren't they going to lower the prices of the original 1080s or no?
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'd be stupid not to. I mean, he's got a 980 Ti.
SLI 980 Ti's, yeah.
Guys, go ahead and keep talking. I'll be right back. I gotta handle something. What is it?
I don't know what to do.
You feel sick? Did you call in?
No, if I do, I'll go to urgent care. I don't know what's bullshit. I don't know what to do. It won't go away. I don't know what to do.
What do you want me to do for you? This happens once a year, every year. Since we've been in this house, actually.
I'm gonna get fired soon if I keep doing this.
Then go and do work and get sent home. I'm serious. Go into work and get sent home.
Sorry I bothered you.
I'm not trying to be mean. Son of a bitch.
Well, you know
Well,
JTech
retarded,
actually made a video where he completely just copied one of my titles, too.
Yeah, he copied and pasted it.
Yeah, he just copied and pasted it because there's no way his grammar is normally that good.
So yeah, I fucked up. Yeah, you guys heard that. Son of a bitch.
Heard what?
I died to kill the sentry, so I hope the squad
Oh,
You know,
we're
just
trying.
something with that.
I was trying to get something figured out. My girl's sick and she doesn't know if she wants to go. If she wants to call in or not. And women. God damn it. Well, it's all right. Everybody heard it. You guys heard that shit. It's fine. I muted the wrong shit. So, oh, is Crichton wanting him back in? Did he disconnect? There you are, Crichton. What happened?
Alrighty, I'm back now. I don't know what the hell happened. I think maybe there's a little bit of a storm going on out there.
Yeah, I was gonna say your internet's been sort of sucking plebs, sir.
Yeah, I'm kind of getting annoyed. Gonna have to contact Charter about that. But what I was saying before I got interrupted very rudely was that the 1080, I think they're not going to lower the price right away because of the fact that they still have a lot of stock that they want to get rid of so that they can start working on the HBM2 stock that they're going to be getting for things like Volta and the next set of cards.
Nice.
Well, Brim's got to jump on one of these graphics cards.
You know, don't play with my emotions right now, all right? I just spit a shit ton on massive audio, so you know I'm gonna need to complement that with video soon.
Now,
Alright.
that doesn't mean that other people won't be willing to lower the price because they may, in anticipation of thinking that it'll be lowering the price because they don't follow trends, actually lower the price themselves to try and sell it before they get another card, which would be the 1080 Ti.
Yay.
You just got to take advantage of people's inability to follow trends and do research.
I'd be like, oh, what? The Zotacs have went to half price? Oh wow, I might as well jump on that because I totally would.
Well, you can get a 980 Ti. Let's say they're selling like basically new used ones, $350.
$350? That ain't bad.
Yeah.
And that's a 6 gig
Ooh, I
card.
gotta
isn't it?
sell
It's gonna be
items.
about tree fitting.
$350. Ah man, all the new stuff. All the new stuff. It's gonna be an exciting year because it's where like AMD is gonna finally shine. Intel's bringing out their new stuff this year. I mean, 2017 is gonna be a very busy year for PC gaming as terms
Hell
of
yeah.
hardware. Holy shit! I mean, and AMD's already working on their 16 gigabyte card. Like, holy shit! Can you imagine? Like, 16 gigabyte card. I just want you to imagine that for a minute.
Well, we have had a 12 gigabyte, but it's also the fact that it's not just regular 16 gigabyte because they're
It's
working on it.
HBM, right?
It's HBM, so it's going from 4 with the limit of HBM1 all the way up to 16 with HBM2, which is an
High
incredible
bandwidth memory
difference.
for those of you that don't know.
Is the RX 40 any good? Yes, the RX 40 is a fantastic card for that price gap. It actually has a better TDP than NVIDIA's set up right now, so you guys might want to go check that out. If anything, go to GPUboss.com and do your comparisons. They have a chart comparison for this kind of stuff. So you could do the RX 480 versus, say, like the 1080s, and they will actually number crunch everything down as to which is better, what does what better. It's a really good site. Go check it out.
I might have to contest you a little bit on that. GPU Boss has a tiny bit of an NVIDIA bias.
Oh, is it? Is it really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
There's if you can look at the numbers though, they do speak for themselves, but they tend to favor more NVIDIA heavy benchmark results.
They, I will say this, their AMD numbers do kind of seem a little funky because if you go by their site, an R9 270X isn't that much less than an RX 480, even though it's like 5 times the amount of everything, which doesn't make sense. So, man, that makes sense now. I didn't know that. Well, just go look up videos, you guys. Go to YouTube, look up videos, go RX 480 versus the 1080, and make your judge call there. Usually they're about 10 to 15 frames from within each other on some games. There are some games the RX 480 does better. There are some games that NVIDIA does better. It's the same thing almost every new generation of card though. So pretty much take it with however you want it. And if you want to save money, I say get it. So that's just me, of course. Let's see, it's cheap. Let's see, hypocritical Harambe is in the room. Yeah. Nvidia has better drivers.
Not
Yes.
nowadays.
Not nowadays. No, nowadays they've gone downhill where AMD's trying to go uphill. So I'm starting to see a switch, and that's kind of weird because I never thought I'd ever see that. So let's see how temporary this is.
Not too long ago, there was a warning about an NVIDIA driver where when you downloaded it, it would overheat your card.
I don't tend to just blindly download drivers, though, and I wait like a week after the driver comes out.
You think that would be the one thing that's okay to blindly download, something directly from the manufacturer of your hardware.
I mean, I don't tend to do that in general, though, because of how updates have screwed me over in the past. So I've been more wary of everything in that regard, not just, from the manufacturer.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just sad. Like I said, you think that would be the one thing you could blindly download, like a Windows update, for example. Just
No. You do not download blindly Windows updates, sir.
I understand that, but it should be something you would be able to, with no worries, just blindly download.
He's saying you should be able to, is what he's saying. He's not saying you're going to.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's not like I'm calling the new Star Wars Episode 3 or anything like that, Crichton. You can calm down.
Or like how Star Wars, the new Star Wars movie was an amazing thing, right, Crichton? Like you said, it was the best movie you've ever seen, right?
Oh my gosh, you guys are so you guys are so ridiculous.
I've heard mixed things about it.
Crichton, you said it was amazing, right? You said it was
I've
your
heard
movie
George
of the year?
Lucas fucks a stormtrooper at the end. I'm just spitballing, though. I don't know.
The effects were really good. I'll say the effects in Rogue One were really good. I especially the parts where they had to essentially bring back Peter Cushing from the dead. That was a really good way to overcome the uncanny valley of it and such. And things like the actress for Mon Mothma is pretty much spot on with the original actors from the 70s, which is pretty nice as well.
Yeah.
But there are so many story elements that I'm not going to spoil anything, but there are so many story elements where you just facepalm and say, God, the Empire is stupid sometimes.
So what you're saying is you rate the movie a 10 out of 10. Totally would watch again, right?
Oh, and I can't believe I did this, but I watched
Just
it in
sidestepping
3D.
that.
Yeah.
I'm never going to do that ever again.
Just like Star Citizen's new live stream today was amazing. They announced all the right things, right?
Sounds good to me. Yeah, you were right, though. That was cringeworthy. I was watching it, and I was like, why were they trying to do a Microsoft press conference? Because that's what it kind of reminds me of. Everybody's reading a line. I was like, I don't know if I could watch this anymore, guys. Rambo, you have anything to talk about besides your Pornhub contract? Yeah?
Not really. I mean,
They're paying you to stay off Pornhub?
yeah, pretty much.
No!
Well, shit.
Frank's just like, how do I get a piece of this?
He's
I mean, it's been rather. I mean, it's been rather quiet, really. I mean, other than the fact of like I'm enjoying like watching, what's his name, Iron Wolf, like go after the Xbox fanboys, but that's about it.
I thought he was an Xbox fanboy.
No, well, I mean, he's actually. I don't know if he might either just be like the troll of the century or whatever. But it's just kind of funny to watch him. Like, right, he's bought a PlayStation 4 Pro and made some sort of comment like saying that he wanted JRPGs and Xbox just doesn't have them. They need to bring up their game on the JRPGs, and the Xbox crowd, like they've made videos on him till he's not allowed to come back home.
Wow.
your ex, like, I don't know, it's like when it's a fucking console, man. Like,
That's kind of ridiculous if your friends are already like telling you that you're not allowed to be around them because of the platform you're on. That's some
and so
childish shit.
he's like taking it and like, okay, well, fuck you then, you know. I mean, I'm gonna like just like give you a hard time or whatever. And like he keeps making these snide comments, you know, or whatever on Twitter, and like the Xbox fan base is just like going insane. Like they don't know what to do. Like,
But this is the sad thing though, right? Like this sentence right now, what you just said, should not exist or have to exist. You know what I mean?
No,
Like
no.
we're reaching that point now in gaming where Rags, you switch to the fucking PlayStation, you fucking traitor sack, you're no longer my friend. I'm like, come on, like the fuck, like I could actually do that, you know? It's really pathetic. It's really
It's quite sad.
it's the most pathetic thing I've ever heard, actually. And that just shows that like they were probably never his friends in the first place. They just worshipped the ground he walked on because of who he is
Well,
and the platform
they
he was
just
playing.
they just like the idea of he was willing to talk shit about PlayStation and PlayStation people, you know, owners or whatever. So they were like, oh, so he's a god, you know. I mean, and now he's not doing that so much, and
Like that moment when someone with only 4,000 subs can cause that kind of tumult in your community.
well, I mean, none of the Xbox fanboy channels are really big. So I mean,
No,
to him, I mean,
no.
they're all he's relatively a pretty decent size. Was a pretty decent size Xbox fanboy channel, and yeah, I mean, it's driving them all insane. Like K Mega 405 is the newest member to the BGST crew.
Oh god.
Who?
His name is K Mega 405. He actually
Mega.
is. Yeah, he's actually here in Oklahoma City with me. He told me one day, like he saw a post on my Facebook account, and like it was I don't know, it was a black. It says, "How do you keep a black man out of your watermelon patch?" And there was like there was instead of a scarecrow, it was like a just a scarecrow dressed up as a KKK member.
Oh boy.
And it was on my personal Facebook page, and he posted it to a group, got me banned because I'm a racist, and I'm like, oh, you just don't understand humor. Any black person that agreed
He's
with
like,
me,
you're a racist because you understand the KKK hate black people, and the black people probably aren't too fond of the KKK. And it's 2016, and we're still talking about the KKK like they're a relevant thing.
Yeah. And so now, I mean, he hates me to no end, but he comes back to what's his name, Iron Wolf, with suck it up, man. Xbox is doing their thing, and like sends back a tweet with 2 JRPGs, and he's like, 2? Like, yeah, you're really excited? Like, want me to be excited over 2 games? He's like, there's like more games, like more JRPGs coming to PlayStation 4 in the month of January than Xbox has games coming all year long.
Axis Softworks is bringing out at least 3 of those.
Yeah, so I mean, like, it's like, I mean, I don't know that, like, people were telling him, like, you know, if you want JRPGs, you know, go to PlayStation. Like, well, no, that's not the answer that you should have. The answer should be like, I want choices. And other people are saying, you know, well, how many of these 100 games broke the top 100 in sales? And they were like, well, it doesn't really matter. It's a choice. You have a choice to play them.
You know,
it's all about choices.
You know,
like,
what didn't sell well, but it was still a good series, right? There's a PlayStation series.
No.
It was the Dot Hack. The Dot Hack series, dude. The Dot Hack series didn't sell well, but you know what? I played it. That's a damn good JRPG. I mean, just because they don't sell it doesn't mean they're not good games. And I think people
not in the least.
I think people need to stop equating that shit because that's what's giving them
the
a bad
best
name.
AAA gaming experience. Who gives a shit if it's AAA?
People are so tied up into
it
sales.
didn't sell well, so I'm not gonna buy it. Like what?
Like how? I don't know how that even ever equated into like that. That's never like been crossed my mind. Like whenever I go to buy a game, like let me check VG charts real quick. Got to make sure that shit's sold before I buy that shit.
I've been doing some
No,
thinking into it, and I think that it may be because of the fact that the reason why they equate sales to success so much is because they're thinking from that corporate mindset.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's they're all corporatists, man. All they care about is
think that
corporation.
if the game doesn't sell well, the company might not make a sequel, and they won't be able to tote it against their competition as being something that they have over their competition.
Well, that's something that they're used to with Microsoft. Now, like with what you said there, because if Microsoft is one that if it doesn't sell well, you will never see a sequel, and that's what sucks. Is because I really would love to see Microsoft get like say a Tomb Raider type game, or just other games besides multiplayer shooters. But they simply don't sell
Did the
well.
Tomb Raider games not come out on Microsoft? Xbox?
They do. I'm
No,
talking about like
this one's an
Tomb Raider because
exclusive
kind of like the one that is kind of like the Uncharted series. You know, they were trying to make the Rise of the Tomb Raider compete with Uncharted, but it was kind of half-assed as far as like the way that they did their timed exclusivity, to where it didn't match up exactly with Uncharted's release. So it still didn't even really do that well on the Xbox platform. Like for some reason, like Xbox guys like just shooters, but I would love to see like more. You know, Rise get a second one, or Sunset Overdrive get a second one. But you'll never see it happen because if it doesn't sell in the millions, like a lot of millions, Microsoft just moves on with it and doesn't even think about a franchise. It's so frustrating.
The day one edition of Sunset Overdrive at my Walmart right now is on clearance for $7, and they have stacks of them.
It's frustrating. I would love to see that happen, but I mean, look at Sony. I mean, you would argue that as far as like as a company standpoint, like The Last Guardian, those kind of things don't sell. They didn't sell well, but they still brought them out. Like those Japanese games that come over to the West, they don't sell well, but Sony still
gamer started on the Japanese.
Sony still brings them over. You know, like they know that there's fans over here that like them.
Yeah,
and so they do it. So that they both have their problems with customer like appreciation or whatever, as far as like giving the customers what they want or thinking the customers knowing what the customers want. But at least, I mean, there's a variety on the PlayStation, and that's all that Iron Wolf is actually saying that he wants to see on Xbox is just more variety. Just give me some variety. Give me the choices that that I guess I can get on PlayStation right now. And everybody's like going against it, like they're fighting them. They're saying you're crazy. That if you want that, go on PlayStation. Well, that's not smart.
It's like now he's seeing why exclusives suck. He's like, because I had to buy into a whole new console just to play a couple games.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, like he had to buy a whole $400 system just to play the JRPGs, which is, I mean, it's crazy to think that, but I mean.
Heck, if those Japanese companies, if they just released those JRPGs just as they were, didn't do a lick of translation or anything, just localized it, boof, just released it on PC worldwide, they'd sell.
And some of them are doing that.
Just fucking put them out there. They'll sell.
What's funny is that Dreyer Schmidt, that our ever wonderful Xbox fanboy, he's I guess because Microsoft put out a thing saying that. Over half, I don't know how they determined this, but over half of their Xbox One owners are taking advantage of backwards compatibility. And so he put out a tweet saying more people are playing Xbox backwards compatibility games than Sony's exclusives combined.
Really?
And I'm thinking, no, there's not. I mean, there's no way.
I was about to say that's wow, that's a lot.
Yeah. And so, like, I guess he didn't really understand the irony in his tweet, because what he's saying there is that there's more people are actually on, like, there's more to play on backwards compatibility than there actually is on Xbox One.
Like, we want to play the old shit more than we want to play the current shit coming out. Also, as a PC gamer, backwards compatibility.
Yeah, that's not backwards compatibility. They still get to determine what's backwards compatible or not.
That's why I tweeted out. I was like, so do these backwards compatible games, do they run better because you got way better hardware now? I say way better because you've got better hardware now.
Yes.
And I actually got mixed messages. Like
Yeah,
I got
you.
responses. A
There
lot of
are
people
some.
said
There
no.
are
A lot
some
of people
that
said it
did.
runs worse. I
There's
was
a
like,
lot of them.
how-
A lot of them do run worse.
I was
I
like,
don't know how.
I don't know how either. Because, you know, on PC, if you play an old game, it runs like freaking Warp 10 because you're using a modern, well, not everyone has modern computers. A computer that came
Yeah,
out
you're
way
using-
after these
yeah.
games came out.
You're using updated hardware. We can
Like I
compared
play
to the
old,
game.
like I play old Killing Floor games and stuff, or Tomb Raider, or something like that. It's like I'm running hyperdrive. I'm like, is this real life? Oh no, because her boobs are fucking blocks.
Yeah, when I play older games on my PC, it's like I'm getting like my frames per second thing don't even like. It
Yeah.
almost like looks like it freezes at 3 digits.
It's like all the frames are yours, sir.
but
So
yeah,
I
I
was
mean,
curious because if
and
they
they-
could say all our remastered games will run so much better now, and we're gonna if they charged, but they said it runs so much better, they're all 1080p, they're all 60 FPS.
they're not.
I'd be like, huh, that's okay. Well, that's pretty compelling.
I think they're all 1080p. They're not all 60 FPS. There are some that actually was like 30 frames per second on the Xbox 360 and now run at like 20 frames per second on the Xbox One. I think they might have patched it to where they run the 30, but they don't run like some of them. Now some of them run better, like Call of Duty Black Ops 2. I think
Oh,
actually
that-
runs better.
On what?
Or Black Ops 1, I mean. Black
I'm
Ops
like
1.
Black
Yeah, it was
Ops
like-
1. I was like, I know
Yeah,
about Black Ops
2 is
1.
not backwards compatible. Don't be a cock tease.
Yeah, I think that they actually that one runs I think better. But for the most part, they actually have been running a lot worse as far as Digital Foundry goes.
My heart actually skipped a beat. I was like, wait, Black Ops 2? What?
But they, it's still like I don't understand like
Honey,
why
give
they're
me the
even touting
credit
that
card.
they're touting it as backwards compatibility, but it's
Take
not
my
because
money.
backwards compatibility would be like what Sony had on the PlayStation 3 is when you bought the original PlayStation 3, you put in a disc and it worked. There was no like is this on the list or not, or is this has this been approved? That's Microsoft controlling the narrative.
I think
And
it
they still take so much of my money.
I think it comes into like how
Stay quiet, Brimstone. Don't back me up on this, fucker.
I didn't hear that last part. What'd you say?
I said, and they still take so much of my money.
Oh, that's because we give it to them. We're like, hey guys, you want an invite to my wallet? It's yours. You want it? Cause me and Shannon both do this, you guys. We're frag heads. We're all gonna buy a Call of Duty. What do we do? Hey, look, Call of Duty's on sale, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean I've done that.
Rambo does the same with Destiny, so don't let him fool you.
Oh shit, I've spent so much money on Destiny and the stupid silver packages, man. Shit, I think I've spent probably $400 in silver.
What?
Yeah.
Holy fuck!
Rex.
It's not often you get Rax triggered.
God damn!
Like he's quiet, all of a sudden he's like, "What?"
I have never heard Rags do that.
I've spent
Triggered.
quite a bit of money in silver,
You
but I
got-
mean it's all
you-
cosmetic. I don't feel any. I don't.
I demand a gift to be made using that soundbite
Thank God
at
it's
that
all.
moment.
Thank God it's all cosmetic.
Yeah.
That's actually one thing that I don't know if it's because Activision is like typically not the company to go to as far as like good microtransaction practices. But for some reason on that one, I don't know if it's because of Bungie. They have not so far put in like weapons or anything like that for microtransactions.
Yeah. Speaking of that, like last podcast, Brim always asked toward the end, you got anything coming down the pipeline?
Absolutely.
Our agenda every single time.
Yep.
The pipeline thing. But anyways, I said you guys can look out on my channel for something to do with COD 4 Remaster Infinite Warfare. I started making that, and then there was this giant update for COD 4 Remaster.
Oh yeah, you
There
did.
is
You heard,
now-
Guys, a little situational awareness. There's a dude up here. God, I mean these fucking two idiots in my squad are just get fucking
Oh.
massacred. They had no clue.
I was like, "What are you talking about?"
Yeah,
Like,
I
I'm
was
just gonna fucking keep sniping if I
I
don't believe
actually
it.
looked
It's not
up
real.
when he said that. I was like,
I know. I was like going, "Where? Like I looked up in my house. I
We were
think.
at this sniping spot and I got killed and they just didn't give a fuck.
So,
Like I was
Yeah,
just keep
you're-
sniping. Like, can't you hear?
they add
So what was your,
supply
like-
drops
Oh
to
yeah, not even
COD 4.
that.
and
Not just that.
skins and
No, not just that.
game
Keep going.
modes.
Nope, not just that. Keep
A
going.
Christmas map.
Nope, keep going.
Are you talking about the loot crate boxes thing?
Nope, keep going.
Then what the
Wait,
fuck
what-
else did
what
they
are we-
have,
Women.
Rambo?
Women.
Nuh-uh.
Women?
Like it
Yes.
comes with like actual Russian mail order brides?
They added women soldiers
Wait, for what?
for
Oh,
Modern
shit.
Warfare Remastered.
Didn't they? But wait,
They added
didn't
women
they-
soldiers.
Didn't they
There
add
weren't-
that? Didn't they add that back in Ghost though? Like that's nothing new. They had
No,
that
I
in
don't.
Ghost, didn't they?
No, the thing is though is that why add it to the remaster? Like why
Yeah, they
what's the
weren't
purpose?
there
It
in
was
the original.
yeah, they weren't there in the original.
Well,
That's just
neither
nothing
was
but
the loot
PR.
crate thing. That box.
Well,
stuff.
no, I don't agree with the loot crate thing at all. I think I mean nobody wanted loot crates to begin with.
But I'll buy $400 worth of them.
And 6 PS4s.
Someone got called out. 6
And a
PS4s
partridge
later
in
and
a
a
pear
$400.
Well, that's between two consoles. That's between the Xbox One version. Then I switched to the PS4
It's only
version. And I was like,
okay. Well, it's only $200 each console. Okay, that's
Right,
not
so-
bad then. that's okay,
see?
that's fine.
you can understand now.
No, I can't. I was being, no, no, that's not how the sarcasm works.
I love it.
When
Rambo.
the Switch version comes out, I'm gonna spend another $200 on that one.
No,
I'll
he's gonna buy 6 of
$100
those.
evenly between 3 systems.
He's gonna buy 6 of those.
6 of what?
Switches.
Oh no, I'll only buy 3.
Oh, okay. You know.
Well, one for each kid.
Well, then you got to count yourself because we're basically all of us in here. are
Oh,
like
I won't.
big
No, I
kids.
won't get it because I won't deal with like I don't play. I'll take one of my kids to play a Nintendo game every once in a while because my Wii U is just nothing but like a way to see how much dust collects within the from each time I dust.
Right.
Yeah.
Sounds.
It doesn't. There's nothing really playing on it. Like
Yeah, I should go visit mine. It's been at GameStop for a couple of years now. I'll see how it's doing.
yeah, so you understand then. It's sad. Like I bought it thinking it was like Nintendo, and then nothing. And that's the reason why with the Switch, I am gonna wait though until they actually show me some games, because I'm not getting suckered into buying another console with them and get one game every 6 months. I can't.
I don't
Fair
I can't do that
mind
again.
getting one game every 6 months, but like I got the Wii U
You
at launch.
don't?
No, I don't. But getting it at launch is the bad part because you're
Man,
starting
you guys
with
are
one.
the easiest to please people I know.
No, what I'm saying is you wait a little while till it has somewhat of a library, then go and get it. Then the one every 6 months or whatever is not going to matter.
Well, yeah. I mean, I guess if you waited like a couple of years with the Wii, you wouldn't have to. With
Especially
the Wii or
when-
whatever, it wouldn't be that big of a deal. But
Yeah, especially when
mine-
you're gaming on a PC too, and for in my or with me on the Xbox. I mean, it's you have shit to play.
well, I bought my Wii U about a year after launch. Well, first of all, that's how long it took me to realize that the Wii U was actually a console. Because I thought it was like this whole time
an
though. Every time I walked into like Walmart or whatever, I thought it was just an add-on. I thought the add-on was that screen because that's all that was ever out in Walmart was the screen, the controller. And the only time whenever they did the showing of the console, they made it look like that was the Wii U. Like that was it. So I just thought it was an addition, like that was the addition to the Wii U, and I was like, I'm not spending $400 on this stupid controller.
Fair
And
enough.
I ended up getting it like finally after realizing that hey, that's actually a console, and there wasn't enough to keep me entertained like for a long period of time.
Right.
I just hope that with the Switch they actually figure out a way to keep you entertained.
Me too. I just want it to be good. I don't want it to have it be another fiasco like the Wii U. That was pretty shit-tastic.
What about all those people that bought the 3DS that just bought it?
They're still buying it.
Yeah, they're still buying it. Yeah, they're buying it right now for their kids, like for Christmas and stuff. And like it's going to be null and void, like in a few months.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
I
'Cause they-
absolutely loved my 3DS. I mean, shit, it broke, and I wasn't willing to spend the money on another one, but they're good.
Oh, they're one of the best handheld in the market, but I don't know. I just find it weird that they're like not letting their customers know that like we're releasing a console in 3 months that's going to compete with the 3DS, and we're not really going to be in the business of competing with ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know it's kind of bad when the company has to compete with themselves and not actual competitors.
they created their own. That's what like what Microsoft and Sony said. They've created their own little uh, area, but now they've created their own competition too, like themselves. It's weird.
Yeah, it's yeah.
Like, how does that sound though? Like, yeah, we're gonna crush the Wii U. You're like, wait, what?
Yeah, no kidding.
I could fart into a bottle and crush the Wii U.
Well, there for a while, it looked like the Wii U was actually going to overtake the Xbox One in sales.
Yeah, that's tough.
That was bad though. I mean, it was
That
because
just would have made all you ponies dance, wouldn't it?
no, that actually would have been bad because that's like that would have been a really bad sign for Microsoft as far as like moving forward as with consoles, because everybody wants to get rid of that that expense, and Microsoft definitely has talked about it several times, and that definitely would have been a hard thing to sell to them to like say let's keep it around, you know.
Spare Who has a question. He says, "What's a good beginning microphone?
Snowball ice.
Snowball ice or anything?"
What do you mean beginning?
Like
Yeah, what do you mean beginning?
What are you doing?
A newbie microphone, somebody that doesn't know.
What are you going to use it for?
Well, price wise,
True.
like what do you like? What is your
Obviously,
price
YouTube.
range?
Well, no, not obviously YouTube. I don't know.
Okay, no,
Like, are you-
he's gonna record his farts, Rags.
What's the price range?
Oh no, it's what it's for. If it's just
no,
for
it's just a
gaming
question.
stuff, it
in
can
the
be
chat.
really anything.
I'm waiting for.
Yeah, no, because I say the price range is like because if you have at 150 or whatever, maybe go a little bit better than the Snowball.
Yeah.
Because I mean, the Audio Technica, like the one I have, is just simply plug it in with USB. I mean, you can't get any simpler than that.
No, that's the one I recommend. Is the one I
And
use.
yeah, it's great.
You just plug it into USB and it works. It's got to be USB 3, but you can buy a little dongle for probably like $2 that changes one to the other or whatever.
It
Oh,
doesn't even
man.
have to be USB 3.0.
You'd be surprised.
I'm plugged in right now to USB 2.0.
Okay, then it is USB 2.0 then. All the better. I would definitely recommend that. The sound quality is absolutely amazing.
USB 3.0 connectivities can be pushed into 2.0 with no issues. That's pretty cool. I definitely want to update my Yeti in the future when I have the money again. I could have done that tonight, but headphones and all.
Because it's not like the 20 pairs he has are any good or anything.
You shut your fucking mouth. I have no idea what you're talking of, sir.
Well, the headphones, like I prefer, like if for YouTube, like whenever I'm doing like podcast or whatever, I prefer open back. Like whenever I'm gaming, I prefer the closed back because the closed back gets you more like deeper sound. Like if you feel like you're really into the game, but
Yeah, that's why I prefer them too. It feels a lot more immersive.
yeah, when you're like doing podcasts and you're having to talk and hear your voice where you're not screaming and stuff, and open back works out really well.
Yeah.
So I think you'll like him for what you do.
I have a
Now-
habit of only wearing one side of the headphone anyway, so I don't know.
Are you in a like usually like whenever you game, are that you like in a kind of a quiet area, or
Yeah, I'm in a closed off office space. I'm in that room.
let's say you
Yeah,
might not
'cause
experience
With open
the
back headphones, other people
Yeah,
can
you'll
hear
hear-
it.
yeah, and and also you can hear the like when my wife plays the TV or whatever, I can hear that like quite a bit.
Right, so I should be pretty safe in here then, regardless.
Yeah, I think you'll be fine in there.
Sounds good. So we'll be coming up on the hour and a half mark. So let's if you guys are ready, we could wrap this up.
Let's rag it up.
Rag it up. There you go. Rag it up. Beginning of the podcast,
we all
we're
know why we're
talking
here.
about Rags'
Sound like
penis.
crap gamer now.
Wow.
Ragged tends to be the name people throwing around these days. Ragged, so because it's like faggot, right? But rags too. So,
Aha.
I didn't
so
even
that's
think of
that's
that.
They were very
that's what I've
clever.
seen. Yeah, no, that's what I've seen in some of the comment sections. Because that's the shtick, right? Ha ha ha.
So we use the same thing as Rags as fags.
Something like that. I don't know.
So
But that's if that's as substantive as you can get, I'm not going to worry too much about it.
Extreme Tuber, did you want to tell us about your extensive dildo collection before we go?
There is no extensive dildo collection. I
Oh,
rather,
gotcha. Sure. No, I gotcha.
I have more hardware than dildos. Trust me.